Kementari dashes away in the Randwick Guineas.
Hartnell lifting, the big boys come back in style and won it. It's a big finish, they hit it. Amelius, the Blue Army, Ben Battle, and on the outside, Blair House, Ben Battle. Cross counter coming at Marmello, cross counters fly. The Blue Army have done it last.
Look, it's obviously my first year here at Godolphin and Darley, and I had some comprehension of what it was going to be like, but to come into the organisation and be a part of it and immerse yourself totally in the racing and breeding side of things, it's been an extraordinary year.
Horse number 1 has been one of the best horses in Australia over the past 3 seasons. His name is Hartnell, trained by James Cummings, to be ridden by Craig Williams for Godolphin.
The day Hartnell won the CF4 at Group 1 level at Caulfield in February was a ripper day at the track. It was a terrific result. He was a horse that he hadn't won a Group 1 for about 18 months prior to that. He'd competed in plenty. He's a wonderful galloper. I'd obviously duelled with Winks a number of times, and he turned up to Caulfield and it was about a $6 chance. He wasn't the favourite.
Ready, racing in the CF4. Lord of the Sky goes back towards the end of the field early. Dollar for Dollar began really smartly.
Covered a bit of ground, was in behind, I think Tossum started him in the run. And at about the 250, I was sitting with James Cummings, and about the 250, he looked like he was just going to run an even race.
Presents down the centre with Mr. Sneaky, followed by Single Gaze. Thrown him at the 200 metres from Lord of the Sky. Dollar for Dollar behind them, followed by Toes and Stardom. Hartnell and Mr. Sneaky.
Craig Williams gave him a couple of taps and the old horse dug in. I think it's a great race call as well.
It's thrown him just in front of Lord of the Sky at the 50. Hartnell's lifting, Hartnell lifting. The big boys come back in style and won it.
Really dug in, mentioned I think the old boy digs in or something. Anyway, he dug in, got the money right on the line.
Hartnell will win it.
It was our first Group 1 at Godolphin for the year. Started things going, and from then on we've just won Group 1 after Group 1. So Hartnell, the old boy, got it going.
Kementari got to the Randwick Guineas and just perfect condition.
I think probably it's fair to say that Kementari progressed to another level. He had no luck in the Doncaster handicap where he started favourite.
So he arrived at the Randwick Guineas in really mint condition for the race, and the nerves of the whole team were running really high. Here was a horse we hadn't won a Group 1 yet, should have won the Caulfield Guineas. That shadow was still looming large on him. Could he run 1600 metres? Coming to the turn, there were a few horses that were bred for further and that had a little more natural stamina than Kementari, that started ranging up quite soon in the piece.
Kementari gets to the outside, coming up the rise now. Siege Quebec sustains the run, going to join Trapeze Artist. Ace High's battling now. Kementari to the outside and further back to Parada.
And once he started thundering up the middle of the track, he was just claiming the race like it was his own.
Kementari gets going now at the 150. Kementari dashes away in the Randwick Guineas from Trapeze Artist. Parada fighting out second and third, but it's a favourite's victory. Kementari beats Parada.
Kementari was too strong. He'd let down just beautifully like the horse we knew he was, and was able to put the race away and win his first Group 1. So Elise found herself at the end of her campaign very much so like the way we prepared her for the flight stakes, the preparation before. She was 5th up at a peak fitness, coming back to 1600 metres after not quite running out the 2000 metres of the Vinery Stakes the fortnight before.
Yeah, look, didn't run the 2,000 metres of the Vinery. That form has shaped right up here today. She's a Group 1 winner at her only run at this track and distance, and I think she goes so well for Glenn that we must consider her here today.
Should be a marvellous race. The lights on, and we're all set now.
The track was running pretty quick that day, but that was actually to her liking. She always enjoys being right on top of the ground.
And Abby Marie heads the rest into the straight. Spanish Reef comes off the fence. Prompt Response goes through.
Glenn was able to hook Elise to the outside.
You knew from a long way out she was going to win, and that doesn't always happen in these, Group 1 races.
And her last furlong and a half was just absolutely brilliant.
Elise going after Prompt Response, and Elise, the filly, goes on to win, and Elise beats Prompt Response.
Storm down the outside just to put them absolutely to bed. It was an outstanding win of a handy bunch of fillies and mares.
She just savaged the line, and it was the performance of a horse that just wasn't going to be held out that day.
The great things about this filly is that she's just always there to compete. And that makes you very proud of where she's come from.
You know, she wasn't rock solid favourite or anything, but she was just at her absolute peak for the grand final, and it was a Group 1 winning run all over.
I think my favourite moment of 2018 was Impending's performance in the Kingsford Smith Cup.
Favourite Impending, gates open racing.
He took on a great field, including horses like English, Lura Main.
Going forward, English kicking up, and Endless Drama's right up there as well. Canterthing drifting right back to last of all now. So
demonstrated such great determination in that race. When they took off, he got left a little behind. It looked like he was having a bit of the jockey was having a bit of a problem trying to get him settled.
Had to absolutely barge through a gap and fought hard all the way to the line just to get there.
They go to the line, it's a photo. Le Remain Impending, third Champagne Cuddles, I reckon. Just
when he came to the last 200 metres, he just demonstrated such great determination and guts. There was a gap that he went through that was closing rapidly in front of him, and he just put his head down and went for it. It was incredible.
The Epsom Handicap is one of the great races on the Australian calendar. It's a handicap over a mile at Randwick, one of the great miles in the world, and all week, for a month, the team have been spruiking how well the horse had been doing. He looked spectacular.
So Hartnell arrived at the Epsom Handicap. He was only third up from a spell.
It was top weight. It's something that hasn't been done very often in the Epsom. Been one of the hardest mile race to win at Randwick.
So he got there and he was just in peak condition.
Locked and loaded for the Tab Epsom. The Group 1 over the mile gets underway here at Royal Randwick, and they're off in Victor's.
And after settling down exactly where we expected him to be, he was 9th, and if not 9th, he was 10th in the run.
Shillelagh's making hard work of it. Then came New Tipperary, and Champagne Cuddles heads the rest up, beats him, comes up the rise a length in front of Tom Melbourne.
But with the pace so good, Hartnell was just able to loom up the centre of the track, and once he was putting in those big bounds, shouldered one out of the way.
Hartnell the outside, under his top weight. Hartnell moves up to D'Argento. D'Argento, stride for stride. They hit it. Photo there. Hartnell and D'Argento, who kept kicking.
He's so brave. He's tough. Really doesn't want to be denied. He always wants to get his head in front and be the winner.
It was a photo finish, and amazingly, the photo finish took so long to actually come up with the result.
Hartnell's got it. Number 1, Hartnell has won the Epsom with a 57. Hugh Bowman.
I think from memory, D'Argento James McDonald had just got his head down near the line, and Hugh had he'd put the whip away on Hartnell and just like ridden him hands and heels to the line, and finally the result came through. We'd got the win.
I think it was either a nose or a short head. So again, he beat a quality field, and that just showed that he doesn't want to give up just yet.
He still had the grit to want to continue in his career, and he's been trained beautifully by James to be able to produce the goods when it matters.
And we just felt as a group where we really surged the feeling of having won with a horse that was as popular as Hartnell. I don't think there was any horse on the racecourse that day racing that was more popular than him, and to have won a time-honoured Randwick mile like the Epsom was a huge result and extremely satisfying for everybody.